Hi, welcome to this short video on how to use assignments on SignUp. So assignments on SignUp are some of the most fixed and linear ways to deliver training to your users. And they will rely on courses and also having a user group set up. So if you haven't already, create a course. So if I just remove all of these filters, so you can create a course here, give it a title. So this is my course. And from here, you can go to items and you can add in any of those items that you want. If you're used to using collections, you'll notice a few more options here. You can add in surveys that users can take once, any quizzes that you've already made, presentations and things like that. I've already got a few courses made, so I'm just going to go and have a look at one of those. So the one I'll be using in this example today is this innovation course. So you can see I've split it into folders, have a few various items there. To make my life easier, I'm just going to copy this ID just because I have quite a few things on this portal and it makes it easier for searching. So then I need to make sure that I'm happy with my user group that's set up. So I'm going to set it to this Springfield Elementary groups, which I can see here, so that I'm happy with all of those users. I can double check what assignments they may already have. So they do have a version of this innovation, but just for this example, I will set it to them again. And once I'm happy with all that, it's time for me to assign it. Now, assignments are a snapshot of that course to that user group as it's assigned. So think of it as a teacher that gives the same homework every year. The assignment is them actually giving it to that student. So making changes to the source course after it's assigned won't actually update for the users unless you push those changes, which we'll show you how to do later on. All right, so when I'm happy, I'm going to set this assignment. I'm going to select that course that I wanted here. I'm going to find my Springfield group, Springfield Elementary. It's called Innovation. I'll just call it 2022, just to make it different from the one they already have. And here I'm going to go up to the activation page where I can see all of the configuration. I can modify it here, add a certificate on if I want, set manual reviews. This is where an admin or educator will have to say, yes, they did this item correctly. If they didn't say, do the survey correctly, you can reinstate that item. For the purposes of this video, I'm just going to keep it nice and simple. Your deadlines here, so you can set an indefinite deadline, so when they have it, they can do it whenever they want. You can set that exact date, so say everyone must have it done by October 22nd, 2023. Or you can set a relative deadline, so from when they get access, i.e. when they become a member of that group and get a copy of the assignment, they have 6 weeks to finish it. So it's up to you how you set those. So I'm going to do it indefinite, which is probably the most common. I'm not going to set a manual review. I'm going to decide on my progression type. So linear and fixed means that they can't go back and change items. So if they do a survey and then they change their mind later on, they can't go back and change it. Linear and flexible means, well, yes, okay, fine. If they've done that survey, they can go back and make those changes. Linear and fixed is probably the most common there. I can preview it and go back to the other page, or if I'm happy, I just activate the assignment. Get a little warning about what's going to happen, and it's going to set it to all of those 8 users. So if we just give this a couple of seconds, we should see it populate with all of the users. All right, so we've got our assignment that's loaded up there nicely. We can see that all of these users are not started, which is expected for this. And as they begin to start, you'll notice the assignments page will populate. So I'll just go on to another course so you can see that. So yeah, this is that example of that one that they already have. You can see that Bart's completed it here, and that the other ones are not started. So if you're happy with your assignment, that's just how it goes, and the users will get emails depending on their configuration settings, and you'll be able to track that through there. The interesting thing that will come is that if you have done something like this and maybe in a few months you make a change to the source course, like you update someone's email that's on the bottom for help, or just over the course of a year, if it's a really sort of continuous assignment, you might have changes to the course. So if I just go to here and add in another item, I'm going to just add in a note, pick one from my library, and I'll just pop this one on. Cool. And I save that. So as I mentioned earlier on in the video, Doing this to the source course won't affect the user's assignment. Remember, it's a snapshot at the moment that it was assigned, so they already have their copies of it, so they wouldn't get that extra item. This is included that if another person is added to that group, they wouldn't get the updated course, they would get the original without that extra note on it. So how do we manage those changes? So Sign-up's got a feature that lets you go to course versions. We can see that this is the version that everyone's on at the moment. It was published today at 9:30 a.m. But now I want to push those changes from that source course that I've just made. So I'm going to create a new version and I'm going to pick my strategy here. So do I want this new version to affect only new people added to the group? Or do I want, so that would just be new enrollees. Do I want it to go to everyone who's not started so that anyone in progress wouldn't get the new version? Not completed, completed and passed and things like that. So, or just all of them go to. So I want this to update for anyone who's not started and anyone that's new to the group. So I'm going to select this not started and I'm going to publish those changes. So before I do that, so really important, just check the warning messages there. So this is probably the most common to use, so I'm going to publish that. And that's going to go through and it's going to delete those old ones that weren't started and update the new course. So any new members or not started will get those updates. So if we go back onto our overview page, all of these now have got new assignments there. And then same for exports. If you want to export the survey data from each group, you can do from